Welcome to Tubi Hanaje. Today, I'm having my mom because we got to drive to go or watch the thing. We're going to see Cars. I have my mom here today with me. She's driving. Oh, she's not gonna be able to look at the camera, but that's okay. Occasionally. But today, in this Testimonial Tuesday, I gathered from Jared. I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna ask you what you think about the verse.
Okay.
Because I read it previously, but it's a reread. Hold on. So I'll be pulling from Jeremiah 30, and then I'll read from the scripture, and then I will state what the topic is upon. Hold on. Okay. So I'll be reading from the verse. I'll be reading verses 10 and 12. And it says, "Therefore fear thou not, O servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee. But I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous." So that is the word in Jeremiah 30, verses 10 to 12. So the main topic more so is understanding the Lord's hand, understanding his reasonings behind certain situations. Because people of Judah, this was like before they were going to be headed into captivity by Babylon, and he was more so reiterating that, yes, I'm allowing this to happen, but I'm going to be with you, and to not grow weary, to simply listen to my command, and to simply listen to what I'm instructing you to do, also what I'm instructing you to endure at the same time. So, Mother, hold on, let me see if this is going to stay. Hold on. Okay. I'll pop it up. Okay. So from that scripture, what did you grasp from, or do you want me to read it one by time?
No, because as you was reading it, I already knew, you know me, I'm quick on it. But you see, I always say, because I have a lot of sayings, right? We as people, we struggle with being, it's a couple of things. It's obedience, it's disability, obedience, discipline, and then we also have to build endurance, right? Because sometimes we go through things and it seems like it's going on forever, but we try to rush through things. So God is like, I'm with you. Why are you worrying? Just be obedient to my word. Be obedient to the things that I tell you, the things that you have to remain steadfast. And regardless of what is going on around you, even the things that's going on within you, because we're human. As people, yes, we get frustrated, we get angry, we get annoyed, we want it to go away, we want it to stop. But in those things that we experience, we have to learn how to push through. Those things build you up. They give you the character. They give you the strength. You will find a strength and an understanding that you never knew existed, right? And some things in life is easier or harder than others, right? So if you don't go through these different things in your life, you won't really understand it. You won't grasp it. And so a lot of people get angry with God because they're like, God, why am I going through this? Why are you allowing me to, to feel this hurt, this pain, this shame, this confusion? Why are you, leave it? Why are you forsaking me? Because some people will say, why are you forsaking me? Or why are you? But God is with you every step of the way. He's testing you. He's pushing you. He's, that's the pruning and the molding of the clay. Like, think about the butterfly, right? And how the death and the rebirth of a butterfly. It's rigorous. It's literally horrible. But when you see the beautiful butterfly that emerges, it makes you appreciate, because there's no two butterflies the same.
Yeah.
Each butterfly is intricately designed and created. And that's how we are. We are all designed and uniquely made. There's no two people walking the earth who are the same. Now, we may eat the same foods, we may listen to the same music, but we may dress, similar, but there's no two. Think about it, so we are unique. So God gives us all an assignment. Everybody has their own assignment, but it's only when you become obedient to what God is telling you, well, then and only then will you understand and fully reach your purpose and understand your role in your assignment, because we are all placed on this earth for a reason. Right? And some people, they never find out what that true purpose is, because they're so focused on other things that they missed all of the things that God is trying to push them towards, or pull them towards, or make them go through. That's why they say you got to grow through what you go through. So as you was reading that, I said, and it's true. It's so true that a lot of the times you say, oh, listen, I am with you. I am with you every step of the way, through the good and the bad. So for me, I had to learn that, because, you get frustrated. You want what you want when you want it. You don't want to hear, oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't believe, some people, I don't believe that. I don't care about that. It's right. They're all focused on the now, right? But the way that you're thinking now, were you thinking this way 5 years ago? No. But you had to go through some things, right? And then you had to understand and learn, and you had to cut out. You had to experience some things to see what's for you, what's not for you. That's how it is. That's life. And as you get older, as you grow and you get more mature, your priorities change, your mindset change, your perception of things change. Everything changes. That's the growth. And that's the beauty of it. And so even for me, I just turned 49. The things that now you see, I let it go. Listen, I can't. Those things don't take precedence over my life. I appreciate everything. I wake up every day with a heart filled with gratitude, despite of what I went through, because all of those things, they didn't break me. God broke me, but those things didn't break me. And that's how I see it. I don't give power to those things. I don't give power to those people or those situations.
You give power to those things. You let it run your life.
You let it control you. You let it consume you, as they say. And that's why a lot of people are stuck. They're stuck in that space. They're stuck in that place. They're stuck on what people said about them, what people did to them, they're stuck. They just can't seem to move forward, let it go. They can't grow through it. But everything is by design, by His design. Everything that you encounter, every person that comes into your life and out of your life is to teach you something. Whether it's to teach you something about yourself, to teach you something about that person and the world. Right? That's why God says, guard your heart. However, don't allow those people to harden your heart. No? I am with you every step of the way. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, but you have to allow God to give you the armor. It didn't say that they wouldn't come against you. It wouldn't say they wouldn't try to take you out. He said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I'm going to give you the armor. I'm going to give you the protection. I'm going to give you the covering. You just have to know how to endure the battle. Yeah, you're going to come out battered. You're going to come out bruised. You're going to come out, you know, maybe with some broken bones and some things like that. That's why I said God broke me. Nobody, I don't give power to nobody. So this is why I operate and I move the way I move. And even when it looks crazy to other people, it may sound crazy to other people, God knows your heart. But God also knows what He gave you, what assignment He gave you, what He told you. And you have to be able to sit still, to listen to what God is telling you, to discern His voice over all the other things that's going on in your mind, and in your spirit, and in your soul, and in your heart. He's always with you in every situation. In every situation. What did you want to add to that?
No, yeah, I agree on your ears. Gotta clean Jesus.
I didn't get a chance to clean my ear. It's dry?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, hold on. I put my exit. I'll put it in.
I got it out. But no, yeah, I wanted to add on and say, yeah, I agree, because you have a lot of people even now, like around my age, even older, like even older people that I have seen, either whether I know or don't know, they hyperfixate on what people may think or what people may say. Like, you be in one way and act in one way, and then when you take, you know, a dramatic turn in your life or change, they'd be like, oh, like what happened? Like what you do to yourself? Like what's going on? Like I don't understand. But it's like, if you were there for me in the midst of the, you know, my sin and all these bad things that I was there, and then nobody, not even you know, was there to, you know, pull me out of that, then I had to take that executive decision, make that executive decision to change and come out of that. Because when you prolong yourself in a situation that you know that God didn't put you in, nor intended you to be in. But like you said, we have to, you know, endure things. We have to experience things so that we know not to place ourselves in those situations again.
So when you know better, you do better.
Right.
When you do better, we can all be better. Right? And so a part of that is some people just don't know. Some people don't want to do better. And this is why they're suffering. And they don't even realize that they're suffering. They're suffering mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially. And they don't even understand it themselves. So it looks crazy to them. That's why I said it may look crazy to other people. But when people come in contact with you, that it's the transformation, the butterfly. They should see you completely different. And
you gotta be an example.
You have to be the example.
That's what it says in 1 Peter 5.
This walk is not easy. And trust me, sometimes, some days I even fall short. You know, this walk is not easy. It's not a perfect walk either. Right? You're gonna have some uphill battles. But at the same time, they should see the transformation in you. And how you live. And how you act. And how you talk. How you love on yourself. How you treat yourself. How you can... all of those things. Because a lot of the times, they just don't know. And again, because they're stuck. And like you said, they're so worried about what other people are going to think and say. And I always pride myself on, thank God I was never one of those people that cared about what other people said or what other people thought. You know why? Because when I sit back and I look at them and I look at their life, I said, my God, how you live like this? How you function like this? And how dare you? Who gave you the authority to speak over my life in that way? And you know, sometimes I just say, you know what? I'm going to pray for God. Pray for them for what they know not, because it's a level of ignorance. And there's a couple of other things that goes along with it. But, you know, it could, like I said, a lot of people, they struggle, they suffer with certain mental disorders and things like that. Only because, like I said, you know, it's their environment, it's their upbringing. You know, everybody around them is dysfunctional. You know, so it's a lot. You know, a lot of them don't have the courage to step out on faith and rely solely on God to cover them. Because people feel like, oh, you know, God is not, you know, he's not real. Oh, he's in a specific
real.
Place. God
he's
is
within.
He's within.
He's real.
He's within. This is why they say, you know, and this may be contrary to what people say. They say, oh, you know, well, you have to live a certain way in order to get into heaven to meet God. I said, no.
It's a relationship.
It's a relationship that you build with Him. Individually. He has a relationship with everybody's relationship is unique in itself, right?
Yeah.
I'm your mother. I have 3 of you. My relationship with Nene is completely different from yours. Your relationship with, you know, it's all different. I have a different relationship. I can parent you guys, but I can't parent you guys the same way because each one of you are different. Yeah. Each one of you requires something different of me. Right? I don't have to, put it this way, I don't have to be so hard on you. I could be a little bit more relaxed. Where Layla, I have to be on her. You say, and that's how God is. God knows His children.
Yeah.
He knows who's going to stray. He knows who's going to misbehave. He knows what you're going to do before you even do it. But guess what? He allows you to do it so that you can see that, you know what? Hey, I was wrong, and I need to go back to the Father, and I need to.
Yeah.
And He forgives you. He goes, I'm going to let you make mistakes. I'm going to let you go.
Because we're not perfect.
Because we're not perfect. As a father, He knows that. As a mother, a true mother, you know that your kids are going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that you don't like. They may get angry at you. They may cuss you out, or they may certain little things but you still love them the same. You don't love them any different. You love them in the way that you can love them.
And the one part that I like the verse is He said that I will save you from afar off. He said I will save you from afar. Yeah, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. So, and what He was more so instating is that, yes, I'm placing you in this situation, but I will then eventually bring you out of that situation. But if you reject me and reject what I'm doing in your life, then you're gonna die to the sword, die to the famine, die to the pestilence. You're going to die to everything I have already proclaimed and planned out already. Because the Lord, He plans out our day before we even, you know, get up and walk through our day.
Because we as parents, we can see things that you can't see. Because guess what? We've lived this life. Right? So a lot of the times when your parents say, oh, I don't like this person. Oh, you should be afraid. And you're like, oh, no. And then you come to find out, oh yeah, I should have listened to my mom. I should have listened to so-and-so. You were right. Right? God said, I will save you from afar. Meaning, wherever you go, my prayers are going to cover you. Wherever you go, my teachings are going to go with you. Whatever you do, the things that I have been instilling in you, you're going to take with you. And therefore, when you go through those certain experiences, wherever you are, you're going to remember, oh my God, my mom did tell me about that. My God did tell me about that. My God warned me about this. Those things go with you. They don't just leave you. So He's going to cover you from afar. He's going to have His hand over you. Doesn't matter where you go or what you do, because guess what? You can't do it alone. We were not designed to do it alone. So when you feel lonely, or you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, or anybody who's going to understand, or He hears you. That's why you got to build that relationship with Him. got to have those moments in those times, and you got to say, okay, God. And people think that, oh, you know, you have to go to church. No, you have to go to church, yes.
To build community.
To build community
and be of service.
To be of service and to fellowship and to be amongst like-minded people. Right. However, God is with you everywhere you go. Whether you're in the bathroom, whether you're cooking, whether you're taking a walk, wherever you are, God is with you. Those are moments where, and listen, in those solitude moments where I was just, that's when God spoke the loudest. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, like what? The loudest, out of nowhere.
I've had encounters with God.
Just gave me a message or gave me and I just said, oh no. It could just be
one word.
And then it could be one word. It could be a sentence. It could be, and I was like, wow, okay. And then whenever I get, especially when I get words like that and I do obedience, that's where the endurance come in. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do what you say. Yeah. And whether it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, however long, out of nowhere, things just start flowing, things just start happening, and I would look up and I said things that I've never spoke to anybody, had conversations with nobody, just those intimate moments that I've had with him.
Yeah.
And I said, I always say, you got jokes. I just see stuff start shaking and moving and happening. Things is always working out behind the scenes or before the scene, before you even know. Just like that. So I know my God is real because several times it has happened to me. And then even in those moments where I didn't know how things were going to work out.
Yeah.
I didn't know where my help was coming from or when or how. I didn't know the details. I would always say, God, if this is your will, then let it be done. Whatever happens, I'm okay with it. However you work this situation out in my life, I'm okay with it. And just like that, things appear, things reappear, things move out the way, and I didn't have to do a thing. That's just my God is real.
Right.
Sometimes we get in our own way. We got to move out the way. Because when you think you have control over a certain situation, you have absolutely no control.
Right.
So that's why he said, "Oh, I'm watching you from afar. Don't think I'm not watching. Don't think I can't hear. Don't think I don't know what's going on." Mm-hmm. You know how they say, "I got ears to the streets." You know what I'm saying? Listen, I got ears to the streets. But it happens, right? You have kids. It happened to me before. One of y'all were doing something that y'all ain't have no business doing. I just so happened to run into somebody and they're like, "Oh, you know, I saw your daughter doing so and so." "Oh, really? Oh, okay." Just like that. I wasn't looking for no. It has happened. And then I would say, "Hey, were you doing so and so?" "Oh, I don't. I got ears to the streets." That's how God works.
And then he also does say that what's done in the dark will come to light. I've always adhered to that my entire living. Before I was even like in my word, I've always endowed myself in that. I didn't know where it came from. Well, now I know it's in the Bible because everything comes from the Bible.
Yep.
You know, people like fragmenting things. People like, you know, but I've always adhered to that. Anything that's done in the dark will come to light. And you know how many times
you better believe
certain things have been brought to the light and I didn't expect it. I'm like, wait, huh?
You better believe it.
I had to do a double check. I was like, wait, what?
Listen to me. And you know,
and the Lord has protected me from a lot of things because I've been threatened before. I've been disrespected. He has held me back. You know, he's even turned about situations that I thought I couldn't get out of. But he did it anyway because he knew that was hindering me. One, hindering me, and two, pulling me away from focusing my eyes onto him.
What did I? You know me. Like I said, anything that pulls you away from God is a distraction. Because God is within. And if God is within, He's within you. And if you don't love yourself enough, that means you don't love God. Because again, He created us unique.
You not only don't love Him, but you don't fear Him.
You don't fear Him. You don't
and
fear.
It's not a fear where you're scared. It's a fear of respect. In the same way where, you get, you're grounded or you get punished and stuff like that. It's not like you are scared of your parent, but it's like, okay, if you don't do this, then this, that this is going to happen. So it's a form of respect, not only towards for yourself, but, your household or, towards a team or your job. It's a form of respect unto God. That's what He said, keep His commandments. But not only keep and listen, but we have to obey His commandments.
And listen, when I tell you,
this is in Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. So if you are rejecting knowledge and wisdom, you're not fearing the Lord.
No. And that's why people stay stuck. A lot of, like I said, people just and this is why first thing I want to say is, as in terms of what happens in the dark will always come to the light. God said, let there be light.
Because He is the light.
Because He is the light. He's the way. He's the truth. Anything outside of that is a lie. Mm-hmm. Right?
Jesus is alive and He lives within. He's a risen King. He didn't die in that tomb. He was gone.
And this is why
His Father brought Him back up.
And this is why when you come encounter, when you are the light, first of all, when you're the light, you have to be very careful. That's where your discernment comes in. Because when you come encounter with somebody who has a heavy, dark spirit, you automatically know something is off. You know something is wrong. And so those people, you want to help them. You want to be the light, and you want them to show them the way through, your transformation and through but some people, again, the fear, the dark, they already, that's why you can't save everybody. God said, but listen, that's my job. That's my job. You do what I tell you to do, but I'm the one that's out here saving the souls, not you. Right? But a lot of stuff, and here's the thing, and I'm very spiritually inclined. Things come to me, whether through a message, through song, through a dream, and I'll just say, wow, out of nowhere. Everything that happens, and here's the thing, a lot of the times, things that happened 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, eventually makes way to me. And I just sit back and I shake my head and I say, you know what? That's why I said there's a lot of things that I know about people, the things that they've done, the things that they've said. And when I look at their life, in regards to how they look, because you understand, when people are rotten on the inside, it shows on the outside. I don't care how they try to clothe themselves, how they try to hide in these houses and materialistic things. You can tell when a person is rotten. Mm-hmm. And I just say, they're always in drama and chaos and problems. Everything around them is just chaotic. They just they don't have peace. And if you don't have God, you don't have peace.
Yeah.
So everything comes out in the light. You shine a light on their darkness. Because here's the thing, and you know how it is with the dark, right? You could be in the cave in total darkness, and you can have a flashlight and flicker it, and all the darkness, but you will see that tiny illumination of the light. Mm-hmm. How powerful is that? Mm-hmm. Think about it. How powerful is that?
Just a speck.
Just a speck of illumination. And you know that the light is there. But see, here's the thing. people get caught up with the darkness and the fear of walking towards the light.
Because of the distraction.
Because of the distraction, the noise, the fear of oh my God, what's in the dark? What's in the dark? What's hiding in the dark? What's lurking? All the unknown. That's why God said, I have my hand. I'm watching. I got you from afar. You got to make your way to the light. I'm not coming to you. You got to come to me. We all have that.
And you know what's also powerful about the light? Is when, even when your eyes is closed, you know it's there.
You know it's there. Yep.
If you're in the midst of the darkness and you're walking, your eyes is closed, you can feel the ambiance of the light. The sun, flashlight,
you can still
whatever
see
it
the.
is.
You can even with your eyes closed, you can still feel the illumination of the light. You know that the light is there.
Powerful.
How powerful is that? So, you know, people. And it's unfortunate that so many people use the Bible, they use God in a way that distorts, but also give comfort to their dysfunction and confusion. You notice that? They pick and I always say they pick and choose parts of the Bible, not fully understanding certain things. Right? The Lord said the vengeance is mine. Yeah, it says eye for an eye and all of that stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you ought to go out and juke out somebody's eyes. It doesn't mean that. Because you know why? I've learned that when you see people out here who are like that, they are suffering and struggling from things that I can't even comprehend. So I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you, because I see that I can, because I'm a seer. I already foresee you have nightmares. You don't sleep well. You don't have a healthy relationships. You don't have a good foundation. You don't have love in your life. You don't have peace in your life. You don't have joy. You know, when you get around people who are just complaining all the time, constantly miserable, constantly unhappy, constantly just
and not doing nothing to change,
and I'm just like,
draining.
I'm just like, you don't. You wake up every day like this. I don't know about you, but I wake up every day with a heart filled with gratitude. Just you wake up every day like this, just looking for stuff to complain about and nag about and whine about and be angry about, and you angry. Look at this. Look at the. Listen. I got eyes that can see. I could appreciate God's creation. I got ears that can hear. Why am I mad? I got breath in my lungs. I ain't got nothing to be mad about. Do I have everything that I want? No. Do I have everything that I need? No. Yes and no. I have everything that I need that God wants me to have at this time in my life, in this moment. Can I strive to work harder to get certain things? Of course. But I trust in God's time, and whatever He has for me, I'm okay with that. I never want anything more than what God has for me, because everything comes in a season, right?
Yeah.
And if God gives it to you before you're ready for it, guess what you're going to do? You're going to mess it up. So I'm okay. I'm okay. What you have for me in this season, God, I'm content. That's the problem with this world. People are greedy. They always want more. They want, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to be patient. They don't want to endure. They don't want to go through things. They don't want to sacrifice. God give it and God take it away. You hear me when I say God will give it and He will take it away.
Yep.
Just like that.
If He sees that, you're not able to, handle the little, He's not going to give you the big. Because he gives you the big and you don't know what to do with it or handle it, it's just all gonna perish away.
And that's why they say there's so many different, the Bible teaches you how to live.
Yeah.
How we should live.
To live, eat, speak, walk, talk.
But again,
dress.
But again, people pick and choose parts of the Bible and they omit. They completely omit to justify. You don't use the Bible to justify. And unfortunately,
and we're not to condemn no one.
We're not to condemn and we're not to judge. That's not our responsibility. Like I said, and I told you, we was in Chicago and I got pissed off heated with that Israelite. Because as a man, you disrespectful. How are you supposed to be a man, a leader, a teacher, and this is how you speak?
And then even
who
after,
gave you authority to speak this way?
Even after they were yelling at two other people that walked by, that came up to them. They didn't walk by; they came up to them.
You're yelling and screaming at people in the street, and you think that people are going to receive you in that way? Who's going to receive you screaming the word at them like that? God said, He told His disciples, "Go out and teach the people what I taught you." And if they reject you, keep moving. We ain't got time to waste. He didn't say to argue. He didn't say to condemn them. He didn't say to judge them. He didn't say to belittle them. He didn't say to be derogatory or negative or try to make them shame them. He didn't say any of that. He didn't say that. And even when His disciples felt they were not equipped.
Yep. They were like, how can we, perform miracles? How can we do this? How can we do that? And Jesus told them, I'm within you. I don't need to be there physically with you. And He said that before He endured the cross. When He told them to go. And He split them up, told them to go to speak the word. He blessed them with only a little bit to see what they can do with that. And they went, perform miracles, teaching and healing people. Then told them to come back.
You see that, right? God uses everyone. He uses the liars, the bums, the beggars. He uses everyone.
Yep.
The prostitutes, He uses everyone.
Yep.
Everyone has a purpose.
Everybody in the Bible, that's what I said. I think I mentioned it before. I said every single person that has a book in the Bible, they were not perfect. They did not have it all.
He's not looking for perfect people.
They endured some form of struggle before God delivered them and turned them into a marvelous individual, a leader. They still had their faults. They still had things that they...
Because was David a believer?
Paul was a murderer.
So
Peter, he denied Jesus 3 times. Jesus told him to his face that he was going to deny him 3 times. And still denied him.
That's why this walk is not
easy. Each of his disciples, they all came from something.
But you see, because God understands that life and experiences is your greatest teacher. Right? But He gives you the foundation in the book and in the word. But through lived experiences, right. Who not better to show you than people who's lived through it?
Yep.
But that's why God said, go out and teach the people. Go out and teach them what I taught you.
We gotta deny ourselves, deny our flesh.
Go out and show people when you go through
And be
things.
an
And
example.
you should not be ashamed of the things that you go through. You was homeless. You lived in your car. You whatever it is. You were jobless. You were sick. Whatever it is, you should never be ashamed to go out and tell the people what you. Because now you show how you transformed. You show how God has delivered you from certain things, or you how God brought you through because He had His covering and His hand over you.
Right. And still had faith to be delivered, to be
And
transformed.
how even though when you lost your faith, you lost your mind, you lost your soul, you lost everything, God still had His covering on you. He was still there. When people said that you were crazy, when people lied on you, when people condemned you, talked bad about you, said that you were worthless, said that you were nobody, said that you were nothing, God says you are everything.
Right.
It's not who they call you. It's not who they identify you as. It's who I call you to be, who I identify you as. I know you. I see you. I created you. They didn't create you. You see? So people, so I tell people all the time, and I even got that because I never grew up in church. I never grew, like my mother never took me to church. Like I went to church on Easter and, certain things like that, but I never grew up with the foundation of church. But I always knew I was spiritually inclined. And then 2, I always knew that God spoke a word to me very early in my life, which is wild to me. And maybe we'll talk about that another time. But what is the auto approval? This is right here.
We gotta go around.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Right? So maybe we'll talk about this another time. But you know my mom. God always said to me, please don't ever, He told me never leave her or never forsake her. And I never understood what that meant. Because again, I didn't grow up in church. But as I've gotten older, I said, okay, I see what you mean. And when I started to go to church, because you were the one, you believe it or not, when you were little, you kept asking me, Mom, why we don't go to church? Mom, why we don't go to church? And I said, you know something, I don't know. Like, we should go to church. And, we did go to a couple of churches, but nothing stuck. Nothing resonated with me. So I was just like, you know how you just go through the floor, you go to churches and this and the other, and you see little things that you just don't like or whatever, you just don't feel. And then when we found FCBC, it was like, like the heavens woke up. I was like, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to be. And then we started to go to church and we started to go to FCBC, and then it just started blooming from there. We met some amazing people. I joined ministry. You was in the kids choir. And then I remember the day, because I kept saying, it's funny because when we started to go to church, we used to sit up in the balcony. But then as we got closer and closer and closer to, being more active in the church, we were downstairs. And then I remember the day that I said, something, I'm going to go up. When they call for people to join the church and, to get baptized or whatever, I am going to go down. Well, that day they didn't call us to go down. And I was so heartbroken because I was like, I was so ready to go down. And then I think you were with me that day.
I don't remember.
And I literally grabbed your hand and was like, let's go. And we ran downstairs and I was like, I want to join. And they were like, oh, well, we sorry, we didn't. And then so I just wrote my name on the paper, whatever. And then I had to wait for baptism. And then I finally got baptized. So I don't know if I probably want to do it again. However, she's going to get baptized on June 20th. So maybe we should record that. I'm going to see if we could record it. But either way, I want you to do that. I think I'm going to wait. I want you to have your moment. I want that to be your day to shine or whatever. I don't want to, you know. So I think I'm gonna just let you do.
You get baptized with me.
But I wanted you to have your moment.
Okay.
I want you to have your moment.
Okay. You finish your smoothie?
Yes, I'm just about to finish my smoothie that my baby over here made for me.
Okay.
I'm a woman of many words, but let me just say I speak with love. I speak with passion, and trust me, we all have a story. We all have a testimony. God is real. He's within you. And trust me and believe me when I say, whatever you're going through, I don't care how hard it is. I don't care what it looks like, what it feels like. I don't care what your family say, or it does not matter. Trust God in all your ways. Put God first. Go to God first and ask him for protection, for guidance, whatever it is that you need. You go. He's waiting for you. He is patiently waiting for you to come to him and give him everything that you got. You may fall short. Today might not be a good day. Tomorrow's another day. But trust me and believe me. Stay faithful. Stay steadfast. Endure. Go through it. Grow through it. When you know better, you do better, so we can all be better. Love you.
Goodbye, everyone. Love you all, but Jesus loves you more.
Amen.